Hello there. I'm USA Today bestselling author, storyteller, and cheeky wench Susan Tisdale. I've been writing since I was a little girl, but in 2011 I published my first novel. Since then, I've hit the USA Today bestsellers list 3 times, and I've sold more than 750,000 copies of my books around the world. I'd like to welcome you to the Cheeky Wench channel, where we discuss all things writing related, from writing to publishing to marketing and everything else in between. So grab your notebooks and your favorite beverage and let's get down to it. Stage. Hello, 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 hello. How is everyone tonight? For those of you on following me on the YouTube channel, don't forget to hit the like button on your way in and say hello so I know who all is here. I hope you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat. Hi, Shannon. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me all right. Actually, I did. I got a little bit of a haircut. This time I couldn't, so the other day when I went in to get my haircut, okay, for those of you, most of you know, I have 5 herniated discs, right? And when I went in to get my haircut the other day, I was in a good amount of pain, a serious amount of pain, and there was no way that I could get in the chair and lean back and let her wash my hair. I just hurt too much. So, hi, Ashley. So she just did what she calls a tune-up, where she trims up the back and she trims up the bangs and stuff. Hopefully next time I go in 6 weeks, I won't be in so much pain and we can actually get the, I could do the wash and dry and style and cut and all that. So yeah, that was my week. That was my week last week. Was that last week or this week? I don't remember. I'm glad you can hear me and see me, Evelyn. I'm sorry about last night, but my grandson had his freshman orientation at the high school. I cannot believe he's going to be in high school. Oh my God, he's going to be in high school this year. He's the class of 2029. I mean, I'm starting to feel old, people. And then I look in the mirror and I see all the wrinkles under the eyes. It's like, how the hell did this happen? Where did the time go? Where did the time go? It's okay, Angie. We're just getting started. Oh, you make salad dressing for dinner. Ooh, what else you having besides salad? Angie. Hi, Diana. I haven't. It's leftovers tonight. The guys are having leftover mostaccioli. I made mostaccioli last night, so that is what they are going to have this evening. So anyway, the orientation went well, and he picked his electives, and it's a really beautiful high school. Just the whole the architecture of it, the construction, what have you. It's really, really beautiful. And then we found out junior senior year they have guitar classes, but it's only for the juniors and seniors. So he has to wait. So, but that's okay. That's okay. He's teaching himself and he's doing really well with it. Last night, oh my gosh. So last night he played me Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train. He just loves Ozzy Osbourne. He loves Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen. So sad when he died. But anyway, so he played that. He played Hotel California and Stairway to Heaven, and I don't know what else. Something about something puppets. Master of Puppets. I think that's Metallica, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, he loves all sorts of music and everything from Ray Charles to Metallica and everything in between. And I just think that's really, really kind of cool. So anyway, did everybody have a good week? Put a 1 in the chat if you have had a really good week. I've had a good week. There were a couple days when I was in a lot of pain, but I have exercises that I'm doing now, some stretching exercises, and hopefully next week or the week after I can add some yoga back into my routine. So pretty excited about that. Angie said portobello mushrooms with feta and parm and sausage crumbles, Oriental cabbage salad, and I made an Applebee's copycat Oriental salad dressing. Oh my God. How soon can I get there, Angie G? How soon can I get there? Because that sounds so good right now. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Lori. Oh, you're starting, Shannon's starting Pilates on Monday. I am not doing Pilates. Not doing Pilates? You couldn't pay me to do Pilates. I like my yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. Oh, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. And she'll say, if you can't, do this move, it's okay if you're not there yet, and blah, blah, blah. She's just very soft-spoken, but she's very encouraging. And my most favorite yoga session with Adrienne is when you're feeling dead inside. Seriously, I know that sounds silly, but all you do is you just lay there and breathe. And some days you just really need to just lay there and breathe and just practice your breathing and just let it all go, let it all go, let it all go. Hi, Heather. Hi, Aurora. I hope you're doing well. I agree with Ashley that dinner sounds so good. I think Ashley, I think you and I need to go visit Angie and have her cook for us. It just sounds really good. So, who's ready? Show of hands or put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the Super Bowl on Sunday. Me. I can't wait. I can't remember who's playing. I know it's the Chiefs. And is it the Bills? No, it's the Eagles. The Eagles. And my little granddaughter has discovered her love of the NFL. She's only 8, but one of her favorite things is to just sit and watch football games with her Papa Kevin. And she is already, just after a couple games, because it's not, she hasn't watched it all season or anything. She's just discovering it. She's already figured out how the yardages work, the downs. It took me forever to figure that out. I never understood it. I mean, I do now, but I know without a doubt I would not have been able to figure it out at the age of 8. So anyway, well, she'll be 9 in April. But anyway, she cannot wait for the Super Bowl. And of course, she's going to be rooting for Kansas City because, Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce. So, she's got to root for them because she's a Swiftie. She's a Swiftie. And it's just really adorable. Come on over. Oven's hot. I wish I could, Angie. Man, I wish I could. I was talking to my cousin Pam today. And it's like, 2020. I know we're still talking about 2020. It was 5 years ago. It was, it's like my whole world shifted on its axis. And that was what our conversation was about today. Hi, John. It was about how my world started shifting on its axis back in 2020, right? COVID. I've never had COVID, but I think I'm still have lingering. It's like the whole world turned upside down, and I don't know how to turn it right side up some days. It just feels like it's still upside down. So does anybody else feel that way? Like nothing is the same as it used to be before COVID. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But there are just days when it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I just think, I miss the good old days, which is just, 5 years ago. Are you going to root for Kansas City too, John? Well, I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles. Sorry, but I am. Yeah, nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. And the thing I looked forward to every year back in the day was going to California with Pam and going to IndieTail or IndieScribe, and just we always went out a week early so that we could rent a car and go drive and drive up the coast, and we would stay in Redondo Beach at the Crown Plaza, and it was just the absolute best time, just the absolute best time. Well, all of our favorite places in California that we used to go to have burnt down, except for Redondo Beach and the Crown Plaza, but the other places. So anyway, if I guess my point in this conversation is you're not alone. You're not alone. We all kind of feel that nothing's the same. I'm still trying to figure out how, and I can't go back. We can't go back to what it was, what the world was like before COVID hit. Okay. Just something has changed, like we're in a perpetual state of Mercury's in retrograde, right? That's just how it feels. And, I don't think we can ever go back to how it was, and that's just sad. And I think I just need to come to terms with that and figure out a way to be excited again and have something to look forward to. So one of the things I'm excited about is our Scribers Place author planners and day planners or reader planners. I'm excited about that. Love working with Shannon over if you're on the YouTube, Tones and Troves is Shannon Nemechek, and actually I'm her partner. She does all the hard work. I just talk about it and she does all the hard work. I thought I would add the Etsy shop link in the chat. We will be dropping some new items. Bookmarks. I love these bookmarks. Oh my God. She sends me pictures of the stuff that she's created and done and printed off and everything else. And having a sale on all the planners, 25% off until tomorrow over at tonesandtroves.etsy.com. Sweet. So if you haven't gotten your day planner yet, your author planner, we have our author planner. We have our plotter planner. We've got a couple different ones to choose from. They are on sale until sometime tomorrow. 25% off. So if you'd like to have one of those, hop on over to the Etsy shop and pick one up. I've been writing in mine today. I love I love this planner. I freaking love this planner. So I've been filling up the pages today. And one of the things that I was working on was goals. And Shannon, you are so full of beans. You are not the beast. You are beautiful. And Ashley agrees. Everything does feel weird now. So we've got to try and figure out we can't shift it back to what it was. So we have to push forward and find something new and exciting. And so if there is interest, I will extend the sale. Okay. Thank you, Shannon. But anyway, go check out our planners. They are awesome. I love mine. I was working on goals. I really got to start doing these lives at like 11 o'clock in the morning because my Adderall is in full force at 11 a.m. But this time every day it starts to wear off and I can't take another one because then I will be up all night. So I apologize ahead of time. Anyway, goals. So I love that Shannon put this in here for goal setting. You write down what your goal is and what the action steps are. Why? What are the reasons for this goal? What do you hope to achieve by this goal? You'd love morning videos? Okay, Angie. Action steps, possible obstacles, and a backup plan. And then she has these specific questions on, is this goal specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound? And I think those are 5 very, very important questions when we are talking about goals. So one of the goals that I've set for myself is to write 3,000 words a day, at least 4 days a week. I know I'm being realistic because I know there's at least one day a week where my dad likes to come up and we have a favorite restaurant. It's over in Creve Coeur and it's called the Main Street Family Restaurant. And I'm telling you what, they've got these skillets, these breakfast skillets that are just absolutely amazing. And the best pancakes, wonderful waffles, great coffee. The waitresses are just absolutely phenomenal. I know most of them by name now. And it's just a really great place to eat with a great atmosphere. And sometimes I like to go in there by myself and take my laptop with me and sit in a corner and have coffee and just write. And I might occasionally get their Italian beef and French fries. So what I'm really focusing on getting my goals set for the year, and I'm starting small. So I want to do 3,000 words a day, at least 4 days a week, right? And I think that is a very reasonable and achievable goal. And I think it's specific, and I think it's measurable because, you can see, okay, I wrote 4,000 today, and tomorrow I only need to write 2, but I went ahead and wrote 3. So I love keeping track of word counts. Is it achievable? Yes. For me, it's very achievable. This is my day job. Writing is my day job. This is what I do. Is it relevant? I don't necessarily know what she means by that question. Maybe she can explain it. But I think it's relevant to my overall goals for the year. And is it time bound? Yes, I have to write so many words per day for so many weeks in order to finish a book. And one of my goals this year is to publish 4 novels. And number 1 is going to be published next week, February 15th. Crikeys. It's still with the final proofer. She's got a new baby. Yes. My final proofer is my daughter, and she does have our grandson, who is just, oh my God, people. This baby. Yes, I'm going to digress for a minute. Oh my God, he's so stinking cute. He's so stinking cute. He'll be 3 months old here in another week or so. And we think he likes to do growth spurts, right? Already. Where he will eat 24/7 solid for like 2 weeks and then, slows down and sleeps for 5 or 6 hours straight, which is like a day at the spa, right? We've all been there. So anyway, he's just doing really well. So anyway, back to setting goals. I answered the relevancy. Thank you, Shannon. So I think it's important. Put a 1 in the chat if you have set goals for yourself for this year. If you have actually written them down somewhere where you can see them, because there is an old saying that I think is pertinent: out of sight, out of mind. So as I'm working on my goals in my day planner, I have a dry erase calendar on my wall of my office, and I can transfer, when I'm done, I could transfer what I put in my day planner, my author planner, onto my dry erase calendar. Okay. And I think it's important that we actually see the goals. You don't have to have a dry erase calendar that's 24/32. You don't have to have that. But if you could at least write it down on a piece of notebook paper and put it up where you can see it. I know some people like to put it on the bathroom mirror. I don't like to do that. I like to put it near my my computer so that I can actually see it. So, and it's okay to put it in several different places at once. No, Diana, you did not miss it. Rescheduled, scheduling conflict, grandson's high school orientation. Hi, Dinah. Is it Dinah or Dina? Anyway, so put a 1 in the chat if you have set goals for yourself, even if it's not writing goals for the year, if you have set them and written them down. Put a 1 in the chat if you have done that. A 2 in the chat if you haven't. So for those of you who haven't, is there something that is holding you back from writing those goals down? If you haven't written your goals down for the year or figured them out, is because this is February now. We have 10 months left of the year, right? Because it's February. Have you been able to figure out why you haven't either figured out your goals or written your goals down? Dinah says she never sticks to them. Do you know why you don't stick to them? You gotta ask yourself some deep, deep questions. If you haven't set your goals, if you don't know what your goals are, if you haven't written them down, why? That's a question. That's going to be your homework assignment for next week. Angie says she's working on it, but hubby had surgery coming up, so I'm waiting until we have that over with. Okay. That makes sense. Dinah says I overwhelm myself with so many goals that I end up just tossing them out. Okay. How about one small goal? You don't have to have 50 goals for the whole year. Hi, Angela. Oh, Dinah like Dinah Shore. Thank you, Dinah. I was talking to Dina Entry. Is it Dinah or Dina Entry? But anyway, you don't have to set 50 goals for the year. You don't. You can set one goal for the whole year. Hi, KTS711. I don't know who you are, but hey, sweetie. Hi, Cynthia. It's okay to only have one goal for the whole entire year. Just one goal as it pertains to your writing career. And that could be just finish a book this year. Just one book. Just finish it. And when I say finish it, it could be just the first draft, or you can finish it and have a fully edited book by the end of the year. It's okay to have that one writing goal for an entire year. If you are so overwhelmed with your what I call regular life, it's okay. It happens. Life is crazy. Life keeps us busy, but it's good, right? I didn't mind having to reschedule last night's live to tonight. I didn't mind taking my grandson to his freshman orientation. Hi, Amy Finley. Stuff happens. We get tossed curveballs all the time. And it's okay. It's okay. The trick, I think, is to not let those curveballs stop us from achieving our goals. That's my 2 cents on that. I think it's really important that we do set goals for ourselves when, especially as it pertains to our writing career, because that's why we're all here tonight, most of us, is to talk about writing, what our writing goals are, that type of thing, because that's what Wednesday Nights with the Wench is all about. It's usually 90% of the time all about writing. But I think that you could take some of the advice that I give, and even if you're not a writer, let's say you're an artist, or you're a painter, or you're in college, or you're a mom, or you're whatever. If you have a goal, any goal, it doesn't even have to be writing related. It's okay to only have one goal to get you through the entire year. Ashley says, something interesting to think about is, what if I finish and it's the best possible outcome? It's easy to let self-doubt flood my mind, but then I try to look at the bright side. Exactly. Let's think about all the possibilities. I know we do this a lot. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? And when you answer that question, I need a good example. Let's see. Okay, I'm just pulling this out of my earlobes. I want to learn to be a cake decorator. What's the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is I might not be any good. So, what's the worst thing that could happen if you're not that good? Well, I would consider myself a failure. But are you a failure for trying? You are never, ever, ever, ever a failure for trying. Amy says the worst that could happen is what I do is shite, or I make a mess and eat all the icing. Okay, so it's the process, right? It's the process of learning. Okay, this recipe was good for this cake, except maybe it didn't have enough vanilla, or maybe next time I try baking cake, instead of adding vanilla, I might add some rum extract or some orange extract, that type of thing. It's the process of continually learning from the process, learning from the mistakes. Okay. Let's think about what is the potential outcome if it's successful? All right. So you've learned to bake cakes. You've learned to decorate cakes. Okay. If you're not a writer and you want to be a cake decorator, what's the best thing that could happen? Well, you could maybe launch your own business, your own cake decorating business, right? You might have people calling left and right saying, can you make a cake for my daughter's 8th birthday? Can you make a cake for my son's 18th birthday? Can you make a cake for my husband's retirement party? Can you make a cake for, whatever? And the next thing you know, you're just really busy and you're making money and you're having fun and you're making people happy with these beautiful, wonderful, awesome cakes that you're baking, right? Am I making sense? Put a 1 in the chat if I'm making sense, or put a 2 in the chat if it just sounds like I'm rambling on. Amy says the best thing if I get published and shut in. Oh, I don't want to shut Nora Roberts down. I love Nora. We all know I love Nora Roberts. The sainted Nora Roberts. She's my hero. Good. I'm glad this is making sense. So, my challenge to you for next week, and hopefully it'll be on Wednesday, is to, all hail Nora. Next week, my challenge to you is that, and you don't have to put it in the chat next week or anything, but just really, I strongly encourage you to come up with one goal for this year, whether it's a writing related goal, you want to learn to knit, you want to learn to paint, you want to learn to bake cakes, you want to learn to work on cars, you want to learn to sculpt, you want to start your own business of some sort, a candle company, a scent company, a whatever company. Just really give it some thought, and then come back next week and let me know if you were able to set a goal for yourself for the year. I hear you, Diana. I have lots of goals. But we can only focus on one goal at a time. But one goal can lead to another goal, which can lead to another goal, which can lead to another goal. Hence my goal of 3,000 words a day. I need to write the 3,000 words per day in order to meet my goals of publishing 4 books this year. Okay, so that's publish 4 books in 2025. Ashley says the best outcome, okay. The best outcome would be gaining readers who believe in my storytelling and love my authorial voice. Knowing people are enjoying my work is transformative and so motivating. I agree. I agree 1000%. Making people happy with my stories, right? That's one of the many reasons why I love writing. There's so many reasons. And there are days when I don't like writing, and that's okay. There are days when I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I do not want to be here. I do not want to sit at this computer for the next 12 hours or the next 6 hours, the next 2 hours, or even the next 10 minutes. That's okay. Get up and do something else. Go for a walk. Go shopping. Go to the park and just sit. Do some yoga, meditate, whatever. It's okay to occasionally feel that way and to step away and say, I can't today. Oh, okay. Diana says right now her goal is to turn her ink drawings into coloring pages for adults and to purchase on Etsy and possibly sell the print originals. I just have to get past that inner demon that won't shut up. Well, okay. So, time to be brutally honest. We're going to be really real. We're going to be really real here for a minute. Okay. Don't know how many of you are, God-fearing Christians or whatever your religion is, if you believe in Satan or not. Okay. All of us will have an inner voice that whispers, you're not good enough. You're not talented enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not young enough. You're not tall enough. You're not whatever, fill in the blank enough to do what you want to do. And we've all had that inner voice in there, right? Every single one of us, right? You can't do that. You're silly for even thinking you can. You're stupid for even thinking you can. Who in the hell do you think you are to think that you can do this? Who in the hell do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm here to tell you the truth about that voice. That voice, as far as I'm concerned, this is my true and honest belief, is just Satan screwing with your head. Because he does not want you to be successful. I firmly believe that. He doesn't want you to be successful because when you are successful, you're bringing glory to your God. Just my 2 cents. That's just where I'm at with that. So when I start to hear that little inner voice that says, what are you thinking? What are you doing? What the hell? What the hell? Who are you? You're nobody. You grew up in Kirkwood, Illinois. Population 562 people. There were 43 kids in your entire graduating class. Who in the hell do you think you are? Well, I'm Susan fill-in-the-blank Tisdale, and I ain't got no time to let Satan screw with my head. So I just say out loud to Satan, F-A-F-O. And if you know what that is, you know what that is, okay? Just leave me alone. I ain't got no time for that bullshit. I know who I am. I know where my talents lie. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm good enough. If I wasn't good enough, I wouldn't have made it as far as I have made it. And I choose to be successful. Oh my God, Sue Hallstrom. Hi, honey. How are you? We went to high school together. Oh my gosh. Hi, honey. I was so jealous of Sue in high school. She had the most gorgeous blonde curly hair, and I was so jealous of it because I couldn't get my hair to look like that. Angie says, my pastor recently said to remember we are sealed in his love and belong to him and no one else. Exactly. So anyway, that's my sermon for the night. When you hear that little tiny voice in your head, you all know what it is. And you just tell Satan to just get back to hell where he belongs and I'll leave you alone. Okay. So goal setting. We can all set goals. All set goals. And it's okay if it's just one goal for the entire year. It's okay if that one goal is just to get your garage cleaned out or, write one book, or learn how to paint or decorate a cake, or learn how to knit or crochet, or whatever it is you want to do. Just set a goal, just one goal for the whole year. I've got more than one goal. I've got lots of goals. So that's where we are on that. And we're going to swoop. Whoops. Oh, for heaven's sakes. See, I don't know why y'all come here. Okay. New topic that wasn't on the agenda. Since this is my show, I'm going to put it on the agenda. Okay. Trends in writing. Does anybody want to talk about the trends we're seeing in writing? Shannon, can you put the link to Tomes and Troves in the chats, please, in both Facebook and YouTube? Thank you, darling. Okay. So I have a lot of author friends. I do. And I've been talking to a lot of them over the last couple weeks. And one of the things that seems to be going on right now for historical romance is that the sales are down across the board. Okay, they are not what they used to be. Hi, Marta, honey. I love you. I can't wait to see you Sunday. Anyway, so and I don't want anybody to panic. Don't panic. If you write historical romance / fiction, please don't panic. Please don't panic. Please don't panic. This is just things that we are noticing. That historical romance for a lot of different genres, whether it's Scottish, Regency, whatever, medieval, sales are down across the board, and for everybody. Okay? So what do you do when your sales are down across the board? Well, first of all, you don't panic. That's the first rule. Don't panic. Okay? Do you know when you're on the airplane and before takeoff or during takeoff, the stewardess is giving you that little talk about how you need to, if the oxygen masks come down, put yours on first and then you can help everybody else? Okay. Don't panic. Just put your oxygen mask on. It's all going to be okay because things are cyclical. Okay? And every now and then we will have a year or two where people only want a certain kind of historical romance. Okay? And that's all right. That's all right. And then there will be a cycle where it seems that the only thing anybody wants to write is fantasy, or read is fantasy, or psychological thrillers, which are the top two that I'm seeing right now, are fantasy, or romancy, as they call it, romantic fantasy, or just straight up fantasy, and either psychological thrillers or police procedurals. Okay? That's what I'm and a couple of my author friends are seeing, is that's what's really hot right now. Now, I cannot write to market. There are lots of authors who can write to market, and that's fabulous. I have never been able to do that. I have to write what I like and what I love, what I enjoy, and I just have to stick with that. I just can't write to market. I never could write to market. It's just not something that I can do. But I don't write just Scottish historical romance. Okay? I've written an Italian historical romance called The Edge of Forever, which was originally The King's Courtesan. Best damn book I've ever written in my whole life. Shannon, if you're listening, could you grab the link from Amazon for me and put that in the chat for that book, The Edge of Forever? And I've also written a fantasy novel. It could be considered romantic fantasy, except there's absolutely zero noogie-noogies in it. But there's an element of romance. And that was called In the Echo of a Kiss. And I love that book, and I love the reviews for that book, right? I don't think it gets the love that it needs, So I know, and that was the first and only fantasy novel that I've ever written, was In the Echo of a Kiss. And I stressed out so much over that book because I didn't want to screw it up, right? I just didn't want to screw it up. And I ended up loving this book and loving this story. So I'm in a position where I can take In the Echo of a Kiss, and I have other stories that I would like to write based on that first book. That's another reason why I never write the end to any story ever, and I never will. Okay. Thank you, Shannon. You was beautiful. Shannon put the link to In the Echo of a Kiss or To the Edge of Forever. I don't know, in the chat if you want to see it. But anyway, I can write the rest of the story. I can take In the Echo of a Kiss because I have the story ideas. They've been percolating in my mind for the last few years, ever since I wrote that story. How could I continue this? And they're just, there were scenes that I left out that I can use for future books. So what I'm saying is, if you need to switch your genre right now, just temporarily, it's okay to do that too. I don't necessarily think that you're writing to market, but if you have a great story idea that has been kicking around in your brain for, however long, that might fall into the fantasy category or into police procedurals or psychological thrillers or, witches and warlocks and what are they? Tribreds? This is something new I learned from Shannon last week about a tribred, which is, I think it's a witch, a vampire, and a werewolf. And it was just absolutely fascinating. I could talk to Shannon for hours and hours and hours about this stuff. But anyway, it's okay if you need to put something on the back burner for a little while and move over and write something else. It's okay. And that's what I wanted to say about that. That it's all right if you have to shuffle things around and move things around and punt, basically. It's okay to punt sometimes. So that's my thought on trends, on what I'm seeing. And so I do have some things that I'm working on. I'm not giving up on my Scottish historical romances. Absolutely not, because I know there's lots of you out there who would kill me. But for a little bit, I'm putting those on the back burner so that I can focus on a couple other genres that I really, really, really want to write in. And one of those genres is the fantasy genre. And it's not necessarily romancy. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is. But it's just straight up fantasy. And I am super excited about that. So it's okay to do that. So we're going to swoop again. I love the swoop. Thank you, Shannon. I love. Okay. So we've talked about goals, and we have talked about what the trends I see in publishing. I don't know if you all are seeing Dark Shadows. Yes, Angie G. That was vampires years ago. Okay, good, Aurora. Yeah, Dark Shadows. I can remember my mom saying that I used to come home and watch that, but I don't remember watching Dark Shadows. Okay? Vampires kind of freak me out a little bit. I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't know what it is. Shannon and I had this conversation the other night. I'm like, I can't do vampires. I just can't. I don't know if it's the blood. I don't know if it's the thought of someone biting into my... I just can't. I can't do vampires. I just can't. Now, I could potentially write something like, vampires in space under my Peaky Haversnatch fan name. I don't know. But Barnabas Collins was cool and Angelique was the witch. And see, I don't remember any of it, Amy, but I remember my mom saying that she caught me and my cousin Rhonda one day after school watching that, and I don't remember it. And that's most of Aurora writes. Exactly. So anyway, I forget how I got on this subject. What are we going to talk about next? I forget what all was on the list. Um, but basically, what I'd love a cute pinky book. I love writing under Pinky Haversnatch. I do, and I've got several Pinky Haversnatch novels that I haven't published. But it's a way. It's cathartic for me. Pinky is cathartic for me, and I don't always publish the Pinky stuff that I've written. I just don't. But it's just a way for me to, when I see something going on in the writing world or other worlds, outside the writing world, I can write a quick 10,000 Pinky Haversnatch novel and just feel better. So there is that. There is that. Oh, Blake Lively. Yes. Okay. Holy boiled potatoes, Batman. Put a 1 in the chat if you're paying attention to this Blake Lively Baldoni lawsuit thingy that's going on. Put a 1 in the chat if you're paying attention. Put a 2 in the chat if you're not, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And I'm serious because I need to know if y'all want to talk about this or not. Somewhat paying attention. Okay. All right. 1, 1, 1. Okay. All right. This is my personal opinion. For legal purposes, I have to say this. It's just my personal opinion. But I'm going to stand with the guy on this because I've seen some things that have got me questioning lots of different things. In the world, I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want to get in trouble. In the world, put a 1 in the chat if you have ever seen or met an elitist. An actual snobby, I am so much better than everybody else, look down their nose at you, snobby elitist. Put a 1 in the chat if you have. Okay, so I'm not alone. Okay. So I'm not going to watch this because of, I'm not going to share it with you because of copyright issues and stuff. You right, Angie? But I'm going to put it in the chat. Please don't watch it right now. I want to talk about it first. So this was an interview, and I cannot pronounce her name correctly. But it was the Blake Lively interview that made this person want to quit their job. Now, I'm just going to tell you, without watching this video with you, because there's a whole bunch of copyright stuff. I don't want to get in trouble. But if you want a perfect example of an elitist snob, go watch that video and you tell me who, and there's more than one person in this who comes off of this way. You tell me in the video who you think is the elitist snob. That's all I'm saying. Just all I'm saying. I just can't. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's utter BS. It's just utter BS. I talk about this all the time. I don't jump on bandwagons, right? I just don't. I hate jumping on bandwagons unless it's an actual bandwagon that is actually playing music and there might be a whiskey sour involved or something like that and real music. I'll jump on that kind of bandwagon. But the proverbial bandwagon, I refuse to jump on. And when this story first broke, I'm like, well, he sounds like an absolute, you know what? He sounds like a weenie head, a booty hair, as my grandson would call it. And she accused him of all these different things. And I'm like, oh my stars. Yeah, no. Yeah, right, Diana? So she claimed that Baldoni was coming onto her during some dance that they had to do for a scene, and she claimed that he came onto her and stuff. Then they released that scene. It was totally different. Exactly. 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 So I always like to take a step back. People ask me questions all the time. What do you think about X, Y, and Z? Well, I don't have enough information on it, so therefore I have no comment. I got comments now. Oh, holy shnikes. To try and ruin someone's career just because you can? I can't think of any other reason to do this other than the fact that she is who she is. It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. It's morally repugnant, right? There's so much I want to say, and I'm afraid to say it because I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I don't want anybody, don't come after me. This is just my personal opinion, but she is an elitist and a snob, and something tells me that she never had her butt whooped with a Hot Wheels racetrack when she was younger. Just my 2 cents. Yeah. Same here, Diana. I'm not sure if he is. Amy Finley? Not sure. Not sure. Not sure how I feel about him yet because he pulled a little stunt the other day with fake fans. That's rather questionable. So yes, when I can't write, I get on YouTube and I watch a lot of different stuff. And I just think what she has done to this man, and I'm rooting for him. And I'm sorry if anybody, thinks I'm an idiot. Don't come after me. This is just, again, my personal opinion. But I think she's an elitist and a snob. And there's that old saying, get knocked down a peg or two. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about, in the figurative sense. I hope that happens. Because, yeah, she is we got 2 Amber Heards coming up, Diana. Blake Lively's one of them. Oh, Exactamundo. She is Amber Heard 2.0. Who is Amber Heard 3.0? I don't know if I should say or not. Oh, the dress at the Grammys. Holy. The dress. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me of the dress, the Grammys dress. So I've been told, and I'm still trying to, find things out on my own, that this young lady who was wearing the pair of pantyhose called a dress, the see-through condom that was called a dress, has done this kind of thing before. Okay. But I wonder if this young lady would have pulled this stuff were she not married to who she is married to. Because when I first saw this, my first thought was, this is a scene out of a BDSM novel. Where you're prancing this beautiful young woman around naked, and she was naked. You could say she had a dress on, but that wasn't no dress. And she sure still didn't have anything on her underneath it. Prating her out. Look what I can make her do. Look at the control that I have over this young lady. Am I wrong in thinking that? Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think she would have either, Amy. I don't think she would have done any of this were it not for the person that she's married to. And I hate saying his name. I just, and the anger on his face. He's just, the way he's looking, like he is the meanest, toughest bad boy on the planet. Yeah, guess who he ain't met? Moi. Hand to God, if that was my daughter, y'all would be doing a GoFundMe now, right now, for my bail money, because I would have come unglued, and I would have went and had a talk to this young woman's husband, and I probably would have ended up in handcuffs, and not the BDSM sex dungeon kind of handcuffs, like the real ones where they're taking you off to jail. That was my first thought. No one is protecting this girl. No one. She doesn't have. That was just my first initial gut reaction, is that she does not have anybody looking out for her best interest. And Kanye sure as hell is not looking out for her best interest. Just my 2 cents on that, which ain't worth a nickel. But I do feel sorry for her. This was not a publicity stunt. This was absolute 100% hands down, complete control on Kanye's part over this young girl he has married. I see now why Kim divorced him. There's so much more I want to say, but I can't because I would get in trouble. I'd like to know where her family is. I would like to know where her friends are, because every single one of us needs someone in our life to protect us from, sometimes just to protect us from ourselves, right? I know I could pick up the phone. I have 100 different people that I could call and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. What is your thought? What do you think about this idea? Or, so Kevin came up with this idea, and he thinks we should do, whatever it is. What do you think? I have people that I can reach out to who can who will be honest with me. They're not going to blow sunshine up my skirt, right? There will be people in my life who will say, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Don't do it. It's going to backfire. It's not, whatever. But this girl, is her last name Sensori or something like that? I'm telling you, doesn't have anybody in her life who's saying, that's a really bad idea. Don't do that. This, like I said in my little video, this didn't even have strategically placed beating. This was a sheer, they called it mesh. It was a pair of translucent see-through pantyhose is all it was. And did you all see the part where she's trying to pull the dress down? Why are you doing that, honey? You have just shown everything that God gave you to the entire world because your controlling asshole of a husband told you to. I could be wrong. But I'm blaming him, and she needs to get the hell out of that. She needs to get away from him. I want to do an intervention, man, so bad. I've got friends. I got girlfriends that would help me. Like that. If this was my daughter. Well, if this was my daughter, this shit would never have happened. It just never would have happened to begin with. Okay? It just wouldn't have happened. Just my 2 cents. Am I right or yeah, Shannon's one of them. Who doesn't try and address and ask a girlfriend's opinion? Exactly, Angie. But I want to know who designed the dress. I'm going to say it was Kanye that designed the dress. I'm going to say he was the designer of that dress because no other designer that I could think of would do this. Would do this. It sure as hell wasn't a Bob Mackie dress. She calls it Bob Mackie. He designed some really beautiful gowns. Exactly. Gentlemen don't take advantage. They protect. And that might sound old-fashioned. Don't come at me. I'm 60. That's my belief. He's not standing there going, look how beautiful My wife is. Look at her beautiful gown. Isn't she stunning? I'm so proud of her. It was none of that. It was the I'm tough. I'm tough. Look what I can make this scrawny ass little girl do. Look at the control I have. That's what that was. There was no pride in his eyes. Yep. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Anyway, I just think Mr. Kanye West needs to meet a middle-aged postmenopausal woman with chesticles to put him in his place. That's what I think. I usually have one black tie event a year, and I scrutinize the choice every time. Exactly. Exactly. I have so many ball gowns in my closet from the old Indie Scribe days. Oh my gosh. And I wish I could, I want to wear them again, again, again. But when in my day, trust me, people, I wasn't always 60 and postmenopausal with saggy boobages and crepey skin. There was a time in my life when I was quite the looker. And I have worn a short skirt or two in my day. But I sure as hell wouldn't have worn that. I mean, why even bother? Why even bother putting anything on? Just, why? Just so you can say you were wearing a dress? Sorry. No, that wasn't legally a dress. That wasn't technically a dress. That wasn't a dress, period. That was a shame. That was your husband having some kind of control over you. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Oh, the skirts with petticoats. Yes. Do I sound old? Do I sound old? Amy says I used to have a tux. I could turn a few heads. Yeah. In my day, I turned a few heads. I've had a pass or two thrown my way in my youth. Doesn't happen anymore. That's okay. I ain't got time for passes. But this poor girl. Anyway, it is now 6:32. It's been a very long day. I love you all. I do. I'm so glad you're here with me every week to chat and to talk. We will be here next week. Don't forget your homework assignment, please. Let me know next week if you were able to set one goal for the year. You do not have to share with anybody what your goal is. That's okay. It can be very private. If you want to share next week, that's fine too. It's completely up to you, but you don't have to. But please come back next week and next Wednesday night and share what your goal is for the for the year. Shaughnessy said, I grew up in South California and we tend to wear less. A string bikini top can be considered a top, but exactly. Dinah says, my invisible dog will eat my homework. Maybe. Depends on my mood. You were too funny, Diana. Anyway, set a goal. Even if it's just one goal, I don't care what the goal is. You want to learn to knit, crochet, paint, drywall, woodwork, science, whatever it is. I don't care. One goal for the year. Anyway, I love you all. I think you all are awesome. And I hope you all have an awesome, spectacular, wonderful week. And we will be back next week. Same time, same place. What is it? The same bat channel? Is that what they used to say? I don't remember. Same time, same place, same bat channel. I think that's what it was. Anyway, you're welcome, sweetie. I love you all. Have a great week. And I'll catch you on the flip side, darling. Bye-bye. Oops, finish. I've got two places to sign off. Oh, come on, and just end the stream. There we go. I really need to get out of the house more.